Getting started with the 10-minute practice method. Lesson overview. This lesson introduces the 10-minute practice method, a flexible approach to build a consistent guitar practice habit. Practicing daily for at least 10 minutes, ideally 5 to 7 days each week, helps you establish a strong foundation and creates momentum. While 10 minutes is the starting point, this method allows you to add more time whenever possible, stacking additional blocks for greater progress. Over time, you'll build a practice routine that adapts to your schedule and goals. Key concepts. Consistency is key. Daily practice, even in short bursts, it builds long-term skills. Start small, grow big. Begin with 10 minutes to establish the habit, then add on time or extra blocks as you progress. Aim for progress, not perfection. Each session should focus on small improvements. Part 1. Why 10-minute blocks work. Setting a realistic goal of practicing for just 10 minutes removes barriers to getting started. Knowing you only need a short practice block makes it easier to pick up your guitar every day, building consistency and momentum. Consistency builds confidence and familiarity. By practicing daily, even briefly, your fingers, ears, and mind adapt quickly, reinforcing skills and muscle memory. This foundation makes it easier to expand your practice time when you're ready. The benefits of 10-minute blocks. Mental focus. Short practice sessions help you stay engaged and avoid burnout. It's easier to give your full attention for a shorter period, making each minute count. Flexibility. 10-minute blocks allow you to practice around your schedule. If you find more time later in the day, you can add an additional 10-minute block. This flexibility lets you adjust your practice routine to your daily commitments. Stacking practice blocks. As you get used to practicing consistently, you can start to stack multiple 10-minute blocks. For example, one block might focus on warming up, another on rhythm, and a third on a song or technique. Part 2. Starting with warm-ups. Why warm-ups are essential. Warming up prepares your fingers, hands, and mind for practice, reducing strain and helping you play more accurately. Even if you only have 10 minutes, a quick 2 to 3 minute warm-up can improve the quality of your session. This could include simple exercises like basic finger exercises, scales, or a few easy chords. Extended warm-up option. If you have 15 minutes available, spend 5 minutes on a more thorough warm-up, leaving you the full 10 minutes to focus on your daily skill or song area. Part 3. Adding time and stacking practice blocks. How to gradually add more practice time. Start each day with your 10-minute goal in mind, but stay open to practicing longer if you have the time and energy. Here's how to add blocks. Start with 10 minutes and focus on one goal, example, rhythm practice. If you have an extra 10 minutes later in the day, dedicate that time to a different area, like chord transitions for example. Over time, you can stack more 10-minute blocks, giving yourself a routine similar to a full practice session. With 3 10-minute blocks, you could structure your practice as follows. First 10 minutes, warm-up and scales. Second 10 minutes, chord transitions and rhythm practice. And finally the third 10 minutes, song practice or improvisation. If you eventually reach a 60-minute routine, each 10-minute segment can focus on a different skill, creating a well-rounded practice. But even with multiple 10-minute blocks, the emphasis remains on focus, quality, and consistency. Part 4. Strategies for expanding or reducing your practice routine. Start with the intent to practice for 10 minutes. Approaching each day with the goal of practicing for just 10 minutes makes it easier to get started. Once you're playing, you may find it easier to continue for a longer session. Even if you don't, completing your 10 minutes ensures you stay consistent. Add more blocks when possible. If you have more time, aim for 2 or 3 10-minute blocks across the day. For example, a morning block and an evening block let you split your focus while still making meaningful progress. Adjusting your routine as life gets busy. As you expand your practice routine, you'll develop a setup that fits your current schedule. However, if time starts to become harder to find, remember you don't have to stick rigidly to a longer routine. You can always scale back by removing a 10-minute block or 2 to keep your practice time manageable. For example, if you're practicing 40 minutes with 4 blocks, but time becomes tight, scale back to 30, 20, or even just 10 minutes. This flexibility helps you keep the habit going without feeling overwhelmed. The most important part is that you're picking up your guitar 5 to 7 days each week. Aim for consistency above all. Aside from special occasions, there's no reason most people can't find 10 minutes each day to play. Remember, the act of showing up with your guitar is what will drive your progress. Reflection questions. How did it feel to practice for 10 minutes each day? Did it make it easier to get started knowing you only needed to commit to a short time? Did you find yourself practicing longer than 10 minutes? If so, what motivated you to keep going? How could your routine be adjusted to allow for more practice time? Consider your schedule and how you might fit in additional 10-minute blocks in the future. Looking ahead. As you continue to build a habit with the 10-minute method, remember that more time will lead to faster progress. However, starting small keeps the focus on consistency, which is the true key to growth. Over the coming weeks, we'll explore ways to structure multiple blocks effectively and incorporate more specific focus areas to deepen your practice. By setting a realistic, daily goal and staying flexible, you'll keep your practice habit strong, no matter how busy life gets. In time, these consistent 10-minute blocks will add up, creating a solid foundation for long-term growth. So, now go find a 10-minute block and get practicing. I hope this helped you out. See you in the next one.